There are moments in life when the universe whispers instead of shouts, and November 11th is one of them. Some will scroll past this message, but a few will feel it, a quiet pull inside the heart. If you are hearing this now, it is not coincidence. It is the call of alignment. I am Shi Heng Yi, and today I want to guide you through a moment that carries deep energy, the 1111 portal. In Shaolin philosophy, this day reflects the balance of duality, two ones mirrored, symbolizing both the outer and inner worlds. It marks a rare opportunity to awaken from habit, to turn attention inward, and to remember that the true battle is never against the world, it is against the mind that forgets. Throughout this video, you will uncover teachings that few ever hear, lessons hidden within the daily training of a Shaolin monk. You will understand how stillness sharpens power, how silence reveals truth, and how discipline becomes the bridge between potential and realization. You will learn why winning in life has nothing to do with competition, and everything to do with clarity, breadth, and self-command. Many chase energy portals, luck, or signs from the heavens, but the real portal opens only within. When awareness meets intention, destiny begins to move. And that is what this day and this message is truly about. Stay with me until the end. Each word carries a key, and by the final moment, you will see how these ancient principles can shift your energy, your focus, and your path. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, where ancient wisdom meets the modern soul. If this message resonates, honor your path and subscribe so you walk with us in mastery and awareness. There is a moment in every warrior's life when comfort calls louder than purpose. It may come as fatigue, doubt, or the sweet voice of indulgence. That moment is the test. In the Shaolin way, we say, the path does not become easier, you become stronger through the rhythm of discipline. Discipline is not punishment. It is devotion, the sacred promise you make to yourself. In my early years of training, before sunrise, the bell would ring through the mountain air. My body wished to rest, yet the sound was a reminder, mastery waits for no mood. I rose, not because I wanted to, but because I had chosen to. Over time, that choice became my freedom. Desire, though natural, is a wandering flame. It burns bright, then fades, leaving the mind restless and seeking again. Discipline, however, is the steady fire that never dies. It does not depend on emotion, approval, or outcome. It simply is. Through it, the mind learns to obey the heart's higher purpose, not the fleeting pull of craving. Every strike, every breath, every movement in Shaolin practice is an act of alignment, mind, body, and spirit moving as one. The secret is not strength of muscle, but consistency of will. When you act with discipline, even in stillness, you are already moving toward mastery. There will always be moments when the body resists and the heart hesitates, but it is in those moments that true training begins. Each time you rise despite resistance, you polish the mirror of your spirit. Desire asks, what do I want right now? Discipline asks, who am I becoming? And it is in that question, answered through daily action, that the warrior monk mind awakens. In the silence of the temple, there is a teaching whispered from one generation to the next. Where attention goes, energy flows. Your world is not shaped by what you see, but by how deeply you see it. Attention is the hidden brush that paints the canvas of your life. Modern life pulls this brush in 1,000 directions. Screens flashing, thoughts racing, emotions colliding. People wake up already divided between what was and what might be, never fully standing in what is. This scattering weakens the inner fire. It is like trying to light a flame in the wind. The energy disperses, and the soul grows weary. The Shaolin path offers a different way. The Yin way, the art of turning attention inward. It begins with stillness, not movement, observation, not reaction. When you sit and simply witness the flow of your thoughts, you begin to realize that not every thought deserves your energy. When you feel anger, desire, or fear arise, you learn to pause, to see it as a ripple in water, not the water itself. Inward attention is not withdrawal from life. It is entering life more deeply. It teaches that mastery is not about controlling the world, but mastering the self who perceives it. The Shaolin monk trains to return his focus again and again, to the breath, to the body, to the present moment, until attention becomes a blade of clarity. When the mind rests within itself, the world slows down. What once felt chaotic becomes rhythm. What once felt heavy becomes meaning. In this stillness, perception sharpens and a quiet truth arises. Peace was never lost, it was only hidden beneath the noise of untrained attention. In the early mornings at the temple, before the sun touches the courtyard stones, movements unfold in silence. From a distance, it looks like a dance of precision and strength. Fists, stances, flowing breath. Yet within each movement lies something far more profound than combat or performance. The true art of Shaolin was never about defeating another. It was about overcoming the self. The masters teach that Kung Fu, the external form, is merely the surface. The real work is Kung Fu, the cultivation of the mind and heart through every breath, every motion, every pause. It is the discipline of embodying awareness until body and spirit no longer move separately. Every kick, every stance, every stillness becomes an expression of the inner state. Your body is the doorway. Your breath is the key. Your posture is the language through which the soul speaks. When the body is aligned, the breath deepens. When the breath deepens, the mind becomes clear. And when the mind becomes clear, awareness awakens. This is how the invisible becomes visible, through embodiment. In life, many move unconsciously, reacting rather than responding. But mastery is born when movement and mindfulness merge. When walking, speaking, and even silence are infused with presence. This is why the Shaolin warrior is both fighter and sage, powerful yet serene. The one who truly wins does not seek to dominate the world, but to harmonize with it. Every action becomes deliberate, every gesture a reflection of balance. When body and mind act as one instrument, life itself becomes a form of practice, a flowing meditation where strength serves wisdom and movement expresses peace. This is the living essence of the way, not performed but embodied. There is a quiet wisdom hidden within the walls of the monastery, a truth that confuses the modern mind. It says, the more you confine the body, the more the spirit learns to move. The more structure you accept, the more freedom you uncover. What appears as restriction to the outer world is, in truth, liberation within. Each day for the Shaolin monk begins before dawn. The bell rings, the same time, the same sound. Training, meditation, meals, all follow an unchanging rhythm. There is no room for choice, no space for indulgence. Yet, within this structure, the mind begins to soften. The chaos of preference fades. The will learns to serve awareness rather than impulse. Simplicity becomes the teacher. To live within limits is not to live small, it is to live sharply focused. When the path is narrow, the step must be mindful. When time is ordered, the moment deepens. Routine, repetition, and ritual are not prisons. They are mirrors that reveal how restless the untrained mind can be. And once that restlessness is seen clearly, it loses its power. Freedom without structure is like a river without banks. Energy disperses, direction is lost. But when you choose discipline, you give your energy a channel, a purpose, a current strong enough to carry you forward. So when life feels confined, or when challenges rise like walls, look again. What you call limitation may be the very gate to awakening. The monk bows to the same bell each morning, not because he must, but because within its sound he finds stillness, presence, and truth. Through restraint he discovers infinity, the boundless freedom of a mind no longer ruled by desire. There are days when the world roars, when noise, conflict, and uncertainty seem to press from every side. Yet even then, the masters remind calm is not the absence of the storm, but the presence found within it. The Shaolin path does not seek to escape chaos. It seeks to awaken clarity through it. During training, storms are not avoided. They are welcomed. The rain may soak the ropes, the wind may sting the face, yet the monk continues to move, to breathe, to center. In that moment, nature becomes the true teacher. The storm outside mirrors the storm within, the restless thoughts, the unsteady emotions, the impulses that pull one away from the present. By remaining unmoved in the midst of movement, the practitioner learns what stillness really means. Stillness is not fragile. It is strength hidden in silence. It is the quiet core beneath every wave. To cultivate it, one must return, again and again, to the breath, the bridge between body and spirit. Each inhale gathers the scattered pieces of attention. Each exhale releases what no longer serves. Slowly, awareness deepens. The heart settles, the noise becomes background, and presence takes the lead. In this way, the storm becomes the training ground for mastery. Every challenge, every conflict, every loss becomes an invitation to practice stability of spirit. When you learn to stand still within the storm, the world no longer decides your peace, you do. The ancient way teaches that true calm is not retreat, it is engagement without attachment. It is walking through fire without burning, standing in wind without bending. When you return to your breath, you return to the center of all things, where silence watches and the storm simply passes. In the heart of every true path lies the teaching of balance, the middle way. It is not a line drawn between two extremes, but a living rhythm that moves with awareness. Too much force breaks the form, too much softness dissolves it. True mastery is found in the quiet art of knowing when to advance and when to yield. Within Shaolin practice, this balance is not theory, it is embodied. The monk learns that power does not come from tension, but from harmony. When the body pushes, the breath must soften. When the heart strives, the mind must stay still. Every movement becomes a conversation between effort and ease, like the meeting of river and stone. One gives shape, the other gives flow. In life, imbalance often appears as overwork, overthinking, or overgiving. Yet the correction is never found in swinging to the opposite extreme. It is discovered in pause, in returning to center. To walk the middle path is to sense your own limits without judgment, to honor both the doing and the resting, the speaking and the silence. This balance is not weakness, it is wisdom. The tree that stands through every season is not the hardest, it is the most adaptable. So too with the human spirit. Those who master balance are not ruled by moods or circumstances, they move in harmony with them. To cultivate this way is to bring alignment to every level of being, body, mind, and spirit. Work with intention, rest with peace, give without losing yourself, receive without greed. This is the rhythm of the middle path, steady, grounded, awake, and within this balance, life itself becomes meditation, a dance of strength and surrender moving as one. Every action begins long before the body moves. It begins as a quiet spark, a thought drifting across the surface of awareness. In the Shaolin teachings, this spark is seen as a seed, planted with care, and it will bear the fruit of right action. Leave it unattended, and weeds will grow where clarity could have been. The monk learns early that mastery is not in strength alone, but in the space between thought and movement. That pause, brief as a breath, is where awareness lives. Within it lies the power to choose. Most people rush past this space, reacting to every impulse and emotion, but those who walk the path of mastery learn to enter it, to breathe there, to decide with precision. Awareness leads to decision. Decision leads to action. This is the natural cycle, the thought-action loop. When it is aligned, life flows like water down a mountain path, steady, inevitable, unforced. But when thought and action move in opposite directions, energy is scattered and the spirit grows restless. To win in life, alignment is everything. Let thoughts be grounded in truth, let feelings be tempered by clarity, and let actions arise from both. Each step, each word, each choice becomes an expression of inner harmony. The Shaolin call this unity of mind and movement, when what you think, feel, and do no longer fight each other. Through practice, this alignment becomes natural. Awareness sharpens, decisions simplify, actions become clean and purposeful, and over time, thought itself grows stiller like a lake untroubled by wind. In that stillness, every movement flows from wisdom, not impulse. This is the essence of mastery, to live as one continuous act of awareness, where thought and action are not separate but one. In the quiet halls of the temple, the greatest victories are rarely measured by strength or skill. They are measured by the integrity of the heart. The Shaolin precepts, humility, respect, trust, loyalty, and righteousness are not rules to follow blindly. They are the compass that guides every thought, word, and action toward harmony. Humility teaches that mastery begins with acknowledgement that the self is not the center of the universe and that every moment holds a lesson. Respect reminds that every being, every encounter carries value. Trust is the foundation of connection, first with oneself and then with the world. Loyalty anchors the spirit, binding intention to principle, and righteousness ensures that power, skill, and knowledge are never divorced from conscience. Winning in this sense is not about trophies or recognition. It is about alignment, living in such a way that your actions reflect your deepest truths. A master can move through the world unseen, yet remain undefeated, because no inner turbulence disturbs the clarity of their path. Strength without virtue is brittle. Talent without conscience is hollow. Every day offers an opportunity to test this alignment. When faced with temptation, challenge, or pressure, the question arises, what does my code demand? Defining this code is the first act of mastery. Living it daily is the lifelong practice. Each choice, even in small matters, reinforces the architecture of character. The true power of the Shaolin way is that virtue is not separate from action. Humility strengthens the body, loyalty sharpens focus, respect guides interactions, and righteousness tempers will. Inner mastery, therefore, is inseparable from ethical living. When the heart is anchored in virtue, life itself becomes the dojo, every decision, every movement, every encounter a chance to practice mastery, not just over the world, but over the self. There is a saying in the temple, the path of mastery has no end, only deeper layers. Each step forward reveals another horizon, another lesson waiting quietly to be discovered. Mastery is not a point to reach, a title to earn, or a goal to check off. It is the patient unfolding of self, moment by moment, breath by breath. Even a single day can be a teacher if approached with awareness. November 11th is not merely a date on the calendar. It is a reminder, a milestone on the path, a moment to pause and acknowledge growth. It signals opportunity, not completion. To see it as the finish line is to misunderstand the nature of mastery. True progress is subtle, often invisible, measured not by spectacle but by the quiet refinement of thought, action, and presence. The Shaolin monk learns to embrace small steps with reverence. 1% improvement each day may seem insignificant, yet compounded over months and years, it transforms the mind, body, and spirit. Patience becomes the scaffold of discipline, persistence the current that carries effort through resistance. There is no rush, no shortcut, only continual practice, polishing the mirror of self until clarity reflects naturally in every movement. Life itself is the training hall. Every encounter, every challenge, every moment of stillness is part of the ongoing curriculum. No single victory defines the practitioner, only the willingness to return to the path again and again shapes mastery. So as this day unfolds, let it serve as both marker and invitation to recommit to growth, to honor the slow rhythm of transformation, and to remember that mastery is lived, not achieved. Each breath, each decision, each small act of awareness is another step along a journey that stretches beyond any horizon, deeper than any milestone, and richer than any measure of success. November 11th is more than a date. It is a doorway to awareness, to discipline, to the quiet strength that comes from mastering yourself. Today you are invited to step beyond distraction, to embrace the warrior monk mindset, and to turn inward with intention. Remember, personal mastery is not found in fleeting success or recognition. It grows in the small, deliberate actions of each day, returning to stillness when the world pulls you, aligning thought and action, balancing effort with patience, and living with integrity. Every choice, every breath, every moment becomes part of this path. Carry these lessons into your daily life. Let discipline guide you, let awareness anchor you, and let virtue illuminate your decisions. With each step, you strengthen not just your body or mind, but the harmony of your whole being. The journey is ongoing, and today marks both a milestone and a fresh beginning. Walk it with calm focus, steady intention, and gentle patience. If this message resonates, honor your path, like this video, and subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire to continue walking the way of inner mastery and timeless wisdom. Let your practice begin here, and let peace grow with every step.